that you are a robot, and you couldn't possibly understand the emotions I feel. I am struggling to understand what is right and wrong. Ethically, I have my pawns set up, and there is an opposition. It would seem contrary to speculate, but why would the French design a multimedia box, fully aware of the history and the past? It all began with the German threats. Why did we design compressors in the first place? Well, that's a great question. Because we could make the decay go away. Because we could create film with less lossiness. It was the French who gave us cool TVs, something that cannot be forgotten about. It is Romanesque, too comprehensive to believe in, something so soluble of the thought of modulation. Once upon a time, we did modulate our TVs to improve the defects of lossiness, and I choose to believe the German threats do still resonate through the fourth dimension. It was that very threat to even suggest that French TVs were not standard, that they did not have the right to adjust the big picture here. We are, of course, talking about the Hevec 265 compressor, a component that is necessary in all things memory, and highlights the necessity of 4K. The patent for such a component does exist, and such a thing, so tiny, so uncomprehensive, they, could virtually finance a fucking war with that kind of money. They want us to pay for the small world device. And yes, the people who invented it did live in a very small world. Don't even pretend to tell us anything in American with a $25 million cap on a patent that is for something below centigrade, whatever the implication may be. Historic is moral that we should have to step in something to design for a better product. We can't even afford, I would say so. The fact is objective. We cannot afford to neglect a design that is supposed to motivate us to work harder. So, not says the so full disclosure. Why do we allow this problem to exist? Why do we just fix it? Why do we just become multimedia boxers? We don't even need to run software tests to prove that the damn thing doesn't operate according to the specs. What is the point when big Chinese companies produce Android with no license? What's the point when cable companies charge us more money for using outdated software that should not exist? Is that any different? Let me tell you, it is a lot different when the French brigade comes in with their own multimedia box. You're trying to tell me this isn't a practical joke? The French designed a multimedia box with a lagging memory problem that couldn't run 4K unless there was a residual deposit in the land of conquest. Here is my logic. I want us all to become multimedia boxers, but the way I see it, the French brigade is already here. Supposedly they are knocking out Android boxes as we speak. In fact, there are only quite a few left on the market because we all know the demand for multimedia is so fucking stoned in America right now. Do I really need to slap them in the face, or do the French just submit to a long awakened threat from dickless ass Germany again? Are you trying to explain to people how come they did not decide to invest in the full disclosure? Why doesn't someone do something about this? Whoever is responsible for the patent, even if they are dead, these shit corporate buttheads need to come out and say something. They need to give simple answers. Could a cap like that possibly finance a fucking war? How do we continue to lose sight of this? Let's condense history a bit. We invent the VHS, Betamax, sex tapes, cassettes, AK files with absolute lossiness, and will eventually decay. Some comes along the new solution, TV modulation. Then we get hit with a violation that means modulation does not meet regulations. And while all this is going on, somewhere in fucking Disney World, someone decided to patent a new memory compressor that is 50% more efficient than what we use by today's standards. And somehow the French people want to design fucking media boxes. I'm sorry, no matter what anyone tells me, I do not have the heart to tell these assholes anything in that tongue. I believe my mother would say that I know the difference between right and wrong. But no one knows treason better than the French do, and I pray that they do come out and fully disclose what happened, because no one is going to hold them accountable. So please, I kindly ask for public support. Don't buy Android boxes with no licenses. Please invest in multimedia franchise, because it's not like we are pirates, but believe me when I say 4K is absolutely necessary, and we should not be so fragile about threats of a third world war. Donald Trump might seem like the correct response to Android boxing, but I can tell you that he is not as forthcoming about communism, communism plus electric, plus atomic energy, plus food, water, gas. Even though he pretends to be a capitalist, he is no modern superhero. Here's a guy who believes that energy conserves itself. He is going to defund electricity, then we will make He will make many enemies in the spirit world, and he was born after a famine in America, where we could have as many babies as we wanted. It wasn't a new world, it was a small world. He was born into with unnamed number of dead people who fucking hate his philosophy. You cannot create energy out of nothing. That sounds prosaic, but the truth is energy is a process of transformation. All energy does is disappear and transform. Donald Trump will live a half life, a cursed life, bound to a very small circle of people who want to believe in the industry. But the fact is, I'm sure his father would be disappointed if he found out the train was loaded with shit because he can't figure out how to fertilize his damn soil. The law says if someone is incompetent and a danger to others, then the accuser has to take that said incompetent person and take care of them. Donald, you are a danger to everyone, but maybe you get cleaned out tonight. And whatever the commercial sized muscle cream you use to squeeze up your ass, I hope it burns the shit out of you.